So not everybody's in a rush to be the first person to say a thing, because that generally becomes the narrative of whatever the thing is going forward, regardless of what the truth is. Yeah, at this point, it doesn't even make any sense for Joy Taylor to say anything publicly, because then that becomes public fodder. Whatever she says, now that gets broken down, and now we have another wave of jokes. So really, everybody just got to sit the hell back, sit in silence, and wait for the moment to pass, and then just hop back in it, because nobody actually cares about these things. Nobody actually cares about any of this. Right? Maybe the victim and her family, but nobody actually cares that Skip Bayless offered $1.5 million for some sex, potentially. That's his prerogative. You're welcome to another episode, the first official episode of 2025 of The Fumble. I'm your guy, Rodney Rikai. We got turtleneck Samaria Terry. What's up? Got the edges jammed down. You got the jam in the mix.
I need to wash my hair.
Oh, you got a peanut head. You got the little turtle head. Yo.
And I was just about to say that I was glad that you are with us and that you are safe and your family's safe.
Hey, just because the world burning down around me don't mean that I'm not ready to work, okay? We gonna let the jokes fly regardless, okay? If I'm gonna go down in flames, we gonna get these jokes off. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna get these jokes off. Anyway, I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to be a part of The Fumble once again in 2025. Are you ready to kick off our first official episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into it.
All right, Rodney, Black Monday this week, we saw several firings across the NFL, from Jerod Mayo in New England after just one season to Antonio Pierce in Las Vegas after his first full season. Even Titans general manager Ran Carthon was fired after just 2 seasons down in Tennessee. There's been a lot of discourse, though, on social media about whether or not Black head coaches and general managers are given a shorter leash than their white counterparts. And what do you make of this, Rodney?
You can make a case that that's what's going on here. I don't understand how Brian Daboll is still employed. I don't get that. Brian Callahan also still employed. Usually the leash does seem to feel a lot shorter for Black head coaches. What I'm trying to get away from on The Fumble is like making everything about race, but race being a lot of situations, it really is a factor. I know y'all might get tired of it, but I swear to God, like, until you in it in the inner sanctum of what's going on, you might not fully understand the magnitude of how much race plays a factor in so many different decisions. And yes, that even includes sports. So I'm going to say that it feels like at times, let me lower my tone. I'm yelling. Sorry. It feels like at times there is a disregard for Black employment, right? Like it feels like we are just a lot easier to discard of. And for whatever reason, white head coaches, especially in the NFL, seem to get a longer leash and more opportunities to correct whatever poor play their team has had the year prior.
I feel like general managers or anybody in the front office, owners, they're not really taking into account situations when they fire Black head coaches, right? Because Jerod Mayo was in a horrible situation. He's having to clean up the mess that Bill Belichick left. Like he's been like running that franchise into the ground for the last couple of seasons. And then he says, hey, I want Jerod Mayo to take over for me. And everybody was like, oh, great. Just for him to be fired after one season. And this is a guy that is completely acclimated to the New England way, the culture that they've built there. So that was very interesting to me. And then Antonio Pierce, who galvanized this team last season, he has Gardner Minshew as the starting quarterback this year, and y'all think that he's supposed to go anything other than 4-13. But yeah, you mentioned like Brian Callahan, right? I was in Tennessee, so I was there when he got hired. I was there when Ran Carthon got hired. Yeah. And this Ran Carthon, and I don't want to get on a soapbox, but Ran Carthon literally got everybody that Miss Amy wanted. That's the owner. He got Calvin Ridley.
I don't like you calling her Miss Amy. I don't like you calling her Miss Amy.
That's what we call her.
That sounds like you saying Meemaw or something. I don't like it, but go ahead.
That's what everybody calls her, Miss Amy. I don't know. That's just what we call her. I don't know. But everybody that Miss Amy wanted and that Callahan wanted, he got. He got Tony Pollard. He got Calvin Ridley on the defensive side of the ball. He got Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, L'Jarius Sneed, Chidobe Awuzie. Like, y'all spent good money. But the guy who coached them is still there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because they went 3-14 in the worst division in the NFL, the AFC South.
It feels like people have better relationships with people that come from their world. And a lot of times, a lot of these jobs are afforded to people. We can look at Cliff Kingsbury some years ago in Arizona, right? Like, he had no reason to go from being a losing head coach in college football to a head NFL coach. And we saw how quickly he flamed out. But the relationship that he had cultivated, outside of Arizona is what afforded him the luxury of having this job. And so when there's like a relationship established, that means that there's a level of connectivity, and empathy. And so I think maybe even more so than race, because I don't want to only say that race is the sole contributing factor to these black coaches being fired after one season. I think established relationships are also at play here, because there have been a list of white coaches who've been fired after one season. We have Jim Mora, Urban Meyer, Freddie Kitchen, Chip Kelly, Frank Reich, Nathaniel Hackett. So there have been white coaches who have been terminated. But some of those
guys have, like the Reich guy, Frank Reich, he was a head coach before that. So that was his second opportunity to go mess up. We don't get
now that is a different conversation. Yes, the opportunities for black head coaches are far and few between. You're 1,000% right. The Rooney Rule was put into place for a reason. Now, do teams actually use the Rooney Rule as a real method of which to hire a non-white head coach? No, but the Rooney Rule was inserted for specific reasons, for the opportunity for black head coaches or not even just black, but non-white head coaches to be given the opportunity to have a conversation, for a position. And so, but they don't have these relationships, and that's what it boils down to. There is a distinct difference between being a player and being in the front office or being the son of a coach. Like, when you're a player, you are looked at as a product. You are looked at as a worker. And when you are in upper management, or when you are the son of somebody who's a football person, a football man, then you are looked at as a football man through and through, not just a depreciating asset.
I mean, you're absolutely right, because what other reason would Robert Kraft decide to fire Jerod Mayo? He literally said, I did not give him the tools that he needed to be successful here, but I'm still going to fire him.
Well, it also was because he won that last game. They might have been planning to fire him prior to that game. They probably were. But winning that last game was also, he did that. He was like, oh, word? So he might have caught wind of it, but that last win for sure is what cost him his job. It didn't help.
I mean, the fact that the NFL has to have like a minority coaching clinic.
Yeah.
That just tells you everything that you need to know about that. But anyway, for those,
I don't want to make it race. I don't want to make it.
But I'm just saying, for those relationships, that's what it was all about. It was all about getting these young black coaches in front of owners, because they don't have the relationships. You're right. But you all let us know down in the comments, what did you make of some of the firings across the NFL this week? And which one did you think was the worst? We want to hear from you.
Okay, so this one is near and dear to my heart. Standout Rutgers freshman Kayomi McMillan was withheld from a highly anticipated matchup against USC and Juju Watkins just this week. Since she wasn't playing, McMillan had plenty of time to hop on Twitter or Instagram rather, and said, I would like to apologize to my fans. I will not be playing in today's game versus USC, which is number 4 in the country. This decision was made by my head coach, Coquise Washington. Thank you for your continued support. Signed, The Product. I like that she calls herself The Product. Kayomi has since missed a secondary game against Wisconsin's Samaria. What do you make of this situation between the star freshman and her head coach?
I will say that you've been talking about this young lady for a while, and I understand now. Like, she's the truth.
I was so mad I didn't get to watch her versus Juju, dog. I planned my weekend around it. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, and then for them to lose by 50.
Hey, relax.
Okay. I'm sorry. I will say that I watched the press conference with Coach Washington, and she talked about, she kind of went on and on, but she kind of talked about how, like, for her, it's about ministering to the young ladies and It's more than just coaching them on the court. It's about the off court, the stuff that the coaches say. And so for me, I'm like, what could Kiyomi have done for her to have been sat? So I'm like, I don't want to speculate, but it seems to me like something did happen, right? And she doesn't want to just throw her out here and say, this is what happened. So she's like, I'm just not going to play her, because maybe she's hoping that this will help her moving forward. This is what I'm hoping happened. Because that was very extreme. That was a very extreme move for her to not play her in the biggest game of the season. Now y'all have lost 4 straight games. Y'all are 8-8.
What are we doing? What are we doing? You want to die on that hill against the toughest opponent, the most... Could you imagine? LSU is playing Iowa, and all of a sudden, we not playing Angel Reese. We gonna sit Angel Reese in the game versus Iowa, of all games. Yo, I get it. If you feel like you want to punish your player, go right ahead, but you don't do it against USC and Juju Watkins. You don't rob not just your team, but the country of one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the year. Everybody has been waiting to see how Kiyomi stacks up against Juju Watkins. I literally had this game circled on my calendar. If it was in California, I would have paid a ticket. I would have paid a high price to be there in person. And so imagine the entire Mike's, whatever the hell it is, what's the Mike's jersey, Mike's Subs arena that Rutgers plays in. Everybody was there to see goddamn Kiyomi McMillan. We can't see that. And then you lose by 50 because your team had the wind is sucked out of your team's sails because they know their best players not on the floor with them. Yeah, great job, coach. Way to protect the brand.
And that's why I was saying it had to be something extreme for her to do this.
Was it murder? Was it murder? What did she do, bruh?
But obviously it upset McMillan a lot because she, like you mentioned, has been on social media. And on top of that, she's been retweeting posts from fans saying that she needs to transfer. So whatever this is has blown completely out of proportion. And there's just so much back and forth on social media about whether Coach Washington was right or if Kiyomi was right. It's like, it just doesn't look good. And I don't think that she's going to play another game. And I definitely don't think that she's going to be at Rutgers next season.
Hey, fam.
I don't think you come back from this.
Players make coaches.
Yeah.
In this current climate that we're in, especially in collegiate sports with NIL, Kiyomi is the first Jordan Brand female athlete with her own signature. Kiyomi is different, okay? You had a 5-star blue chip recruit, a part of your program, which has been desolate and dormant for the last 10, 15 years, right? You finally get somebody who is a program changer. And you do some things as egregious as not allowing her to play against her stiffest competition all year. And now this person whose following is larger than Rutgers women's basketball following is, period, now has the opportunity to change the optics of what your program is and other recruits who may have considered going to Rutgers going forward. Great job, coach. The job is not just to coach and to pastor, whatever she said. The job is to win games and make money. Win games and make money. You are not her mother. You are not her father. You could have very easily sat her against the next game against Wisconsin, set an injury report. You left it vague and you left it anonymous. And so now we are all left with just looking at you like you are out of your mind for not playing this young lady. I am disgusted that Rutgers University, the state university of where I am from, is once again dropping the ball in this kind of fashion. It's just, it pisses me off, dog. It makes me so mad.
You know I have to play devil's advocate here, Rodney.
Go ahead.
What if she did, in fact, do something so egregious that she needed to be set down? Like, what if it comes out?
Yo, I'm sure she got an ego. I'm sure she got an ego. She signed her Instagram post, Kiyomi the product, McMillan. Yeah. I know Shorty be wildin'. I ain't got no questions about that. But I have never seen a transcendent athlete. I thought we were past the days of the transcendent athlete trying to be humbled. I thought we recognized and realized that certain athletes need to have that ego when they got that kind of dog in them, and it's warranted, right? Like maybe some of the things that can create chaos off the court is what propels her on the court. And we have to have the ability to understand that not every player is the same. People have different motivating factors. People have different ways of going about handling their business on the court. And if I got to create a firestorm, no pun intended considering what's going on around me, but if I had to create a firestorm in order to propel me to have excellence on that court, which is what Kayomi has done and has been for this program, then let me rock. Leave me alone, fam. I got butts in the seats. Don't do that. Don't do that in this matchup. Like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And Coach Washington was on that bench. I saw her in the middle of getting the ass kicked. She laughing and kikiing on the bench. Y'all getting jumped off. Credit to her father said that, we came here with the intention of being an athlete at Rutgers University. It is not our intention to transfer. But we all know the path to hell is paved with good intentions. So at this point, I don't see why she wouldn't. Go to USC, go to UCLA, go to Notre Dame. Like go to Tennessee, go to South Carolina, go to a place that understands what the product actually is. Why? Go to where you know where the product.
Let me tell you something. Her and Don Staley, listen, ain't nobody winning nothing. That would be crazy.
Protect your athlete. We talk about Samaria. We have talked at length. We have talked at length about protecting the black female athlete from outside scrutiny. This was an opportunity to protect your athlete. You could have had a fake injury report, anything. She left it so ambiguous. Coach Washington left it too ambiguous. So Kayomi, I don't want people to think that I'm ducking the juju smoke. So I gotta say something. This is my brand deal. This is money on the line now. I gotta let people know, hey, I want to play. Coach is wilding. You can't just sit her out and then not give people an explanation beforehand. This was a game time decision, damn near. I was so pissed, dog. Sorry. I'm really upset at this. Anyway, let me get up out this segment because I can go on and on and on about this. Also, my Rutgers men's basketball team. I don't know. The wheels done fell off of my Rutgers men's basketball team as well. Dylan Harper's still the best player in the country. Ace Bailey is also a top 3 pick.
You know who winning though for real?
Auburn. All right. That's because all y'all players is 26. Y'all in the portal heavy, baby. We getting it out the mud. You feel me? Anyway, y'all let us know your thoughts on Kayomi McMillan and Rutgers University. Is Coach Washington wrong for benching her star player in the most important game of the season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
So Fox Sports was hit with a major lawsuit this week. A former hairdresser for the network is alleging an exec used his position to, quote, sexually harass women. This exec also is alleged to have had relations with sports anchor Joy Taylor. The lawsuit also says that Skip Bayless offered this hairdresser $1.5 million to, quote, have sex with him, end quote, an offer she declined. So Fox Sports has released a statement following the lawsuit saying, quote, we take these allegations seriously and have no further comment at this time given this pending litigation. Rodney, what was your reaction to all of this mayhem?
I had many, many thoughts about this. My first mind went to, nobody offered you $1.5 million for sex, fam. Like, the highest of the highest end escorts are, not that I'm in that business. I don't play that game, but they'll run you about 10,000. You mean to tell me I could go get somebody out there that's an elite mattress actress for a smooth 10 racks, and I'm going to offer you, the hairdresser, 1.5 mil? Sorry. I've seen images of this woman. I just wouldn't pay $1.5 million for that experience unless it came with the slew of other benefits. Maybe his tips need to be dyed and frosted regularly. I don't know. Beyond that, all right, that's my joke side, but also kind of serious side. I am really, really empathetic towards Joy Taylor. This felt like, not even feels like, this has become a Joy Taylor smear campaign. I don't understand how she is becoming the butt of everybody's jokes when she is not the one being accused of attempting to sexually harass anyone. Like she may have hurt this woman's feelings by trying to protect her or her version of protection because they were friends, not just a work environment. These aren't just work pals. As a friend, she tried to tell this woman, hey, maybe don't ruffle any feathers around here. Keep your job. You're a single mother. Do what you got to do. Head down. Let's keep it pushing. And now, in lieu of that, she is being targeted and made fun of. Her personal business allegedly being aired out. I'm not a fan of the way that the world is treating Joy Taylor in this moment, and I'm hugely, hugely empathetic to what she's going through right now.
Yeah, that is exactly how I felt about it. Being a sports anchor, I mean, the jokes, like it was difficult because now people are assuming that everybody, like whatever that Joy's being alleged of doing, quote unquote,
you can say it. Everybody's thinking Joy is easy sex.
Yes.
But they calling out her name. They're saying she's
sleeping her way to the top, or sleeping with execs, sleeping with co-anchors, all of the things. And now people are like, oh, that's what every woman in sports does. And I think that was kind of really difficult. It was, listen, that whole thing was crazy. I will say that Skip give off a little weird, but that was crazy. But that was crazy though. $1.5 million. I don't
nobody
know.
offered that lady no 1.5.
It's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out because she did put her name on there. So she's out here. She's like, this is me. I said this. Fox Sports, they still working. Nobody's off air. I just knew that Joy wouldn't have been there this week as all of this kind of died down, but she's still there. She's still working. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds.
I love the fact that Joy is still working. I think sometimes when you just disappear, now you're leaving people's imagination to continue to be proactive. And so I like the fact that she showed up to work, did her job, went home, and she ain't said nothing about it publicly. I do not like the fact that these kinds of cases are disclosed, prior to a determining factor of like what actually took place. Like there needs to be some sort of resolution before these kind of accusations are made public. I understand from a victim standpoint why they would want the world to know what they've gone through, but the world things move way too fast nowadays. Social media has made things advance so quickly that it's hard to get an unbiased jury.
Yeah.
Like every jury pool is now tainted because they have the information even before it's really logged in a court system. I don't like Jason Whitlock, fat ass, you fat neck, hot dog smelling mother. I don't like this guy. There's no need for you to talk about why you needed to stay away with your little ass and what you would have did to Joy Taylor. Get your nasty ass out of here, you nasty old man. Oh my God. Anyway, so in the event that Joy did in fact sleep her way to the top, mind y'all business. Okay? Right, mind y'all business. Because if somebody asked me to eat that thing so that I can get to the bag, I'm like, eat that thing. You feel what I'm saying? So Lee, sorry, that go left?
It's okay.
I'm a slave.
I will say though that in these types of situations, in these lawsuits and cases and all that kind of stuff, it does suck because the accusations are always louder than like whatever the resolution is. So if it comes out that all of like this lady has just completely fabricated this entire story, nobody's going to see that. They're going to always though remember all of the jokes because social media is so unserious, just like LeAngelo Ball's song. First, like social media is so unserious, but yes, they're gonna only remember Joy Taylor's jokes. You don't like LeAngelo's song?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm just saying. It's just jokes.
But this is. I'm gonna sound like an old ass man right now. Everything that's supposed to be satire has become serious. Like that's not supposed to be something that people champion like this when you got real music out here. I mean, granted, I guess it's a lane for everything. It's the lane for everything, cool. But talking about it as if he's like, I mean, whatever. Have your moment, man. Have your moment. I don't want to sound like no hater. It's not my bag. It's not for
It's
me.
just
But God
unserious.
bless.
Yeah. Social media is just completely unserious and nobody takes anything seriously. And that's the reason why these jokes against Joy Taylor took off the way that they did, because nobody's thinking about anything other than what's happening in this moment. They're not thinking about how that's affecting her or how that's going to affect
No.
her life moving forward. Nobody's giving that a thought.
But I, the unseriousness becomes serious though, because
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is so ironic because whatever is said first is what sticks usually.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So now everybody's in a rush to be the first person to say a thing because that generally becomes the narrative of whatever the thing is going forward, regardless of what the truth is. And so, yeah, at this point, it doesn't even make any sense for Joy Taylor to say anything publicly because then that becomes public fodder. Whatever she says, now that gets broken down, and
Yeah.
now we have another wave of jokes. So really, everybody just got to sit the hell back, sit in silence, and wait for the moment to pass, and then just hop back in it because nobody actually cares about these things. Nobody actually cares about any of this, right? Maybe the victim and her family, but nobody actually cares that Skip Bayless offered $1.5 million for some sex potentially. That's his prerogative. People do what they want to do. Get the jokes off now, but in 3 or 4 days, probably less than that. It's already over now because of the fires. Don't nobody care. We moved on. It's like I hate that people have to have this lifetime of embarrassment though. Like this is a lifetime of embarrassment for Joy, for people's humor and entertainment for 3 days. That's just corny.
Yeah.
I don't like it. That's
Yeah.
just corny.
Well, you let us know down in the comments, what did you make of this really large lawsuit against Fox Sports and Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless? We want to hear from you.
So I don't have a traditional fumble of the week this week. It's not sports related. I live in Los Angeles, California, and right now, so many people around me are being devastated by the fires that are taking place. I had to pack up my home last night and really survey what was of the utmost importance to me. I had about 15 to 20 minutes to do so. And as I'm looking around all these things that I've acquired over the years, clothes and shoes and all these things that really could go up in flames that I have no emotional investment in. The things that I took down were pictures of my grandparents, pictures of my children, obviously passports, documents, these kinds of things, the things that will truly define my existence here on earth. It is an incredibly sad and devastating time that this city, that is a city full of dreams, has quite literally gone up in smoke for many people. One of my close friends, an artist by the name of Masego, lost his home. And in his home, all of his instruments, things that he had come to master his craft with since a young age. You think about hard drives, all of the music and art and the beautiful things that people have invested emotionally into over so many years, over the entirety of their lives, journals that have been completely disintegrated. It is humbling. And to walk outside of your home and feel this eerie calm with a black sky and it feeling like the world is literally ending and you're trying to figure out which direction you should go because the winds are blowing this way, but that fire is over there, and in real time trying to pivot and make sure that you and your family are safe is devastating to the heart. It is emotionally damaging. These are times and moments that I think I never could have imagined some of the experiences that my son would have to go through. I got frustrated with him yesterday as we packed our house up. I'm like, just grab things. Well, what should I grab? And so the fear in our children as they had to experience this firsthand, it's unimaginable to be out here during these times and try to create a plan for survival, to avoid death by fire, quite literally to kick this year off. It's something that I wish on no one. I hope that the finger pointing and the blaming that has existed politically can stop, and we get to first a resolution of how to help people. This is not a moment to politicize and to exercise political opinions and try to sway people to vote for you through words and not action. If you have actionable items and you want to act on them, then that will be the way that people are inspired by you, not words and finger pointing and name blame, all of that childish that comes along with American politics these days. This is a very, very real set of events. Some close friends, some close associates have lost everything, and they do not know what to do next. So for 1 week, There is no fumble in the world of sports. I do not care about that. I wish everyone well in this city and around this world. I know that these are just very, very challenging times for many people, self-included. And so I just want to give honor and reverence to the experiences that we are all going through as we just try to figure out how to live happy and healthy lives this day and days going forward. So that is my fumble of the week.
That was very touching, Rodney. Thank you for sharing that. I don't think that a lot of people have really heard firsthand experiences of what's going on over there, but here at the Fumble, we are so blessed and thankful that you are okay and your family's okay, and everyone in the LA area are in our thoughts and prayers.
This is still not over. We're still having to go on the Watch Duty app and see where the fires are. We have high winds that are expected to kick back up shortly. And so we have, it's crazy to have these waves of feeling like we're okay and then growing increasingly more uncomfortable as you see different fires pop up in your community and in your neighborhood. You know, one fire was about 7 minutes from where I am right now. I've been displaced for 3 days. This is my third day having to be outside of my home because I haven't had power for 3 days. Initially, that started just because of high winds. And they're expecting me to not be able to be back in my home for another possibly 3 or 4 days. And so, you know, you think about, I had to throw away, and my situation is light compared to what other people have lost, but having to clear out my refrigerator. I just went grocery shopping. Groceries expensive as hell, you know? So now I had to throw away $300-$400 worth of food, and we gotta, you know, eat out every night. And so it really has been a humbling few days of just trying to figure out what to do next. And then when you're a father, when you're a parent, and you're trying to navigate this, and you're trying to keep your own fear levels down to not activate the anxiety of your children, it just puts a different level of pressure on you. And so for everybody out there going through something similar, my heart is with you. Of course, the city will always be okay because it is a city of brilliance and ingenuity. And so we will find a way to overcome this and move forward. But yeah, my heart goes out to everybody who's been greatly, greatly impacted and affected. My situation is light compared to so many others out here. So yeah, that's all I got to say. If you have any kind words to say about the state of affairs in California, in Los Angeles specifically, please give people a good word in the comments section. Let people know that your thoughts are with them, your prayers are with them. And if you have any method or means by which you can help to lend a true hand, then please do that, whether it's donations, whether it's, you know, getting boots on the ground and helping clean up debris. You know, people's homes are being ransacked as well, potentially looters going through your most cherished memories. So that's what we're dealing with out here. Thank y'all for any and all kind words. That is it.
All right, that's all for this week. Thank you for joining us for another great episode of The Fumble. Make sure to subscribe to The Fumble and at The Fumble Sports on all of our social media platforms. Of course, we deliver the latest in sports every day on our YouTube page with our girl Jackie Ray, and every Friday right here at The Fumble with myself, Samaria Terry, and my co-host, Rodney Rikai.
I didn't mean to serious us out, but we just had to address it. But to make it a little less serious, Samaria, tilt your head forward one time. Let's see the length of the back of your head. All right, we out of here.